The reason why we have to go to New York is because Eric Adams, sitting here with a picture of his mother, this is what I need y'all to do, all right? Stop forcing everybody to like your mama. Stop forcing everybody to like your kids. Everybody don't like your mama the way that you like them. Everybody don't like your kids the way that you like them, all right? And I know he's honoring his mother by announcing that he's giving up his campaign and he's no longer going to be running for mayor, and he wants to let her know, hey, mama, I made it into the governor's mansion, or I made it into mayor's mansion. But everybody don't like your mama the way that you like them, all right? He could have made this announcement on an iPhone sitting at the dinner table. But let's get into it. We're going to get into a little bit of what he says, and then we're going to go over to Zohran Mamdani and what his reaction is to it. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I'll continue to read Super Chats throughout the show. Also, Q show is tonight. We're going to get it popping, all right? We're going to get it popping. Let's get it.
Nearly 4 years ago, Gracie Mansion became my home. Who would have thought that a kid from South Jamaica, Queens, growing up with learning disabilities could one day become the mayor of the greatest city in the world? I cannot thank my mother enough for instilling in me the values she lived by. I hope every parent can use my life as an example for their child during challenging moments. Only in America can a story like this be told. When I was elected to serve as your mayor, I said these words: this campaign was never about me. It was about the people of this city, from every neighborhood and background, who had been left behind and believed they would never catch up. This campaign was for the underserved, the marginalized, the abandoned, and betrayed by government. Since then, it has been my honor to be your mayor, and I'm proud to say that we took that victory 4 years ago and turned it into action, making this city better for those who have been failed by government. I felt immense pride serving you every day, and look at what we accomplished together. We built more housing in one term than any administration before us, and removed barriers to build even more. We drove crime down so far that this year we are on track to have fewer shootings and murders than at any point in our city's history.
What up, man?
We raised test scores and attendance through bold education reforms. We made record investments that fueled our economy and drove employment to all-time highs. And we lowered costs for working and low-income families, expanding funding for rental vouchers, childcare, and household costs, while eliminating...
Listen. They can talk all of this mumbo jumbo that they want, but let me tell you something that I know about leadership. All right? In leadership, people remember you for the things that you didn't do or for the mistakes that you made. Now, I don't know about all of this, right? Because I'm not about to go through and deep dive and try to fact check and see how much he changed housing and all of that stuff. I don't really care. Let me tell you what people do remember. People remember how you responded to a crisis. It's one of the reasons why one of his people that he running against, he got ousted in the primary. That migrant crisis, that is going to, I told y'all, the migrant crisis was going to be the nail in the coffin for a lot of politicians. Whether you're talking about in Chicago, Los Angeles, Denver, all of that. People not going to forget that, because people remember what they were going through when you decided to make the worst decision. One thing I know about people, right, is that they will endure with you if they feel like you're in a fight with them. This is a leadership symposium that I'm giving you right now. People they okay with going through stuff. They okay with suffering. They okay with not being successful right away. They okay with making sure, hey, listen, we gonna roll with you. We gonna promise you. That's if they feel like you're in the fight with them. But the minute that they feel like you betray them is when you up out of there. And this migrant crisis, along with the pandemic, along with bad management, and then you had to start cutting city services, and you got a scandal on top of you, and you was attached to Biden. It was too much. It was too much. It was absolutely too much. Women, anything you do in a relationship can be related to business and it can be related to politics. Women will endure with a man that they believe in, that they think is building towards something, that has something going on. If they believe that he is putting his all into something, even if they are suffering, even if they got to lower their lifestyle, even if they have to endure, even if they got to do something different, if they got to go back to work, they will do it. Because they see a vision in him and they believe in him. But the minute that you then break that trust, it's over. It's over. It's over. If she feel like she got finessed, it's the same way when it comes to voters. Voters ain't even tripping off your past. That's the thing that a lot of politicians don't understand. They don't expect for you to be perfect. They don't even want a perfect politician. They don't want a perfect live streamer. They don't want a perfect content creator. They don't want a person that necessarily ain't got no dirt on them. They ain't tripping about that. They know you got flaws. They know you just like them, right? But you're going to have to do something more to give them a reason to want to watch you, to believe in you, to want to vote for you, to want to be with you. It's not about being perfect. It's about working towards something and building with people. And the minute that they believe that you betrayed them is when they then walk away from you. That's the reason why Umar Johnson became a leper. It's the reason why a lot of these different people became a leper, right? And it's no different from your local politician. Eric Adams, Brandon Johnson, Karen Bass, Mike Johnston, all of those people are going to then see their next election result in them being ousted, and they're going to have no support. Ain't nobody going to put no money behind you. Don't nobody want to put their name behind you. Don't nobody want to stand behind you. The only person that like you is your mother and maybe the person that you sit next to every day. The way that he handled the things that was most important, that he got the most visibility for, I didn't think that he was going to be able to come back from. Which then gave rise to the opposite, a socialist, communist, and New York is going to die. I don't know how to put it any more straightforward to you guys, but New York is in trouble. It is in so much trouble. I can't think of a city that is going to be more under duress within the next 15 years than New York City.
Income tax burden for more than 500,000 New Yorkers. Even so, I know many New Yorkers have yet to feel the full impact of these historic achievements. I know many are still worried about affordability, about safety, and their future here. But trust me when I tell you, what we've started will continue to reach every community in this city. It's not always easy to see the impact of good policy in just 3 years. I also know some remain unsure of me after the unfortunate events surrounding my federal case. I was wrongfully charged because I fought for this city. And if I had to do it again, I would fight for New York again. And yet, despite all we've achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the campaign finance board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign.
So, Eric Adams is dropping out. I want to go over to Zohran Mamdani. Of course, he pulled up on MSNBC because he's a new darling of the Democrat Party. They'll get behind anybody that has some motion. They're willing to sell their souls and get on their knees in order to do so. This was his reaction to it, apparently. I haven't seen it. I've seen the Eric Adams one. He dropped that on X, formerly known as Twitter. And this is his reaction to it, apparently. This is what he had to say.
Some major breaking news in the New York City mayor. Independent mayor had been struggling in the polls with a recent Fox News poll showing him dead last at 8% behind his rivals. Earlier in a video,
we've achieved kind of.
Right, we
got to say that we weren't expecting to have you here, so we really appreciate you making time because of the news. I'll start broadly by getting your reaction to the fact that Eric Adams, who is polling fourth, has dropped out, and what this means for the race going forward.
Look, Donald Trump and his billionaire donors may be able to determine the actions of Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo, but they will not dictate the results of this election. This continues to be the same election as it was when we started on October 23rd, a choice that New Yorkers have between Eric Adams' record, which is Andrew Cuomo's agenda, one that has priced New Yorkers out of what is now the most expensive city in the United States of America, or our vision for a city that New Yorkers can actually afford. And I'm excited and just as confident as I was yesterday at actually delivering that vision and winning this race on November 4th.
Do you have a sense of what's behind this decision today? We've all heard that Curtis Lewa, the Republican, claims that he's been offered large sums of money from powerful people to get out of the way. Do you think that's what's happened here?
I think we have to put this in a larger context where after we beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points in the Democratic primary, he called Donald Trump to ask what they could do together to defeat our campaign in the general election. And Donald Trump has spoken time and again about how he wants to narrow this race, how he wants to use every tool at his disposal to try and stop this campaign for affordability. And we're seeing amidst all of that here yet again the moment where he is shaping this race, but we're going to show him that New Yorkers are tired of his politics and they're tired of being priced out of the city.
Listen. I don't even know where this guy came from. Overnight, he just became a star and a sensation in New York. Overnight, he became a star and a sensation of New York. I am sad because the New York as we've known it is no more. This is over. It is a strong, and when I say strong, I mean strong possibility that he's going to win. Andrew Cuomo is trash. And unfortunately for New Yorkers, the ones that are going to suffer the most are the ones that can't afford to leave. The ones that are going to struggle the most, the ones that are going to suffer the most are the ones that cannot afford to leave. Right after this happened, billionaires and millionaires have been leaving and packing up and trying to figure out how to get the heck out of New York in droves. I sat on a plane with a guy yesterday on my way back to Detroit, and he said that he had lived in New York for 40 years. Just so happened to be because he was watching me work on a plane or whatever because I was doing all of my content stuff. And he's a really good guy. We exchange information and everything like that. But he said he has lived in New York for 40 years. He said he got the heck up out of there. I said, what are you doing on a plane from Florida up to Michigan? He said, I'm moving back home. He said, I was born here. He said, I came here for a Lions game previously, and I came back again, and I got some family here. And I found a house here, and some people may know he moved over into Birmingham. He said, I got an office and a studio that I set up here. I also got a place that I travel back and forth to. He said he had a home that burned up in the Palisades, like it was like a vacation home. A home that burned up out there during those fires. He said he's leaving New York. He said he had to get the heck up out of there. He said he's getting the heck up out of there. He said all of his friends is leaving. It's not something that he's interested in. He said New York is going to go to hell. I'm like, really? You think so? I said, I'm going to use this on my show tomorrow. I said, I'm going to use this on my show tomorrow. He said, I know so. I know so. This guy came out of nowhere he openly says that he's a socialist and a communist, and the whole city got behind him. It's over. It's over. And the people that are left are the ones that's going to suffer from it. Because millionaires and billionaires, they can go anywhere. Millionaires and billionaires, they can literally go anywhere. And then they just can come back and visit the parts of New York that they want to visit. I think it's over. I think New York is going to absolutely collapse within the next 10 to 15 years. They have so much revenue because they got Wall Street and all of these people. They got so much revenue and they got such high taxes that they'll be able to endure long enough, but he's going to do a number on the city.